All right, hey guys, and welcome back. And today I want to talk about Arcane, this TV series that is based off the original title League of Legends. Um, it's really like I enjoyed it personally. I really enjoyed it, and I think I enjoyed it a little too much because towards the end of the show, I realized holistically the story is really beautiful. It's well detailed. The characters are amazing, but it did drag out a bit. But it didn't drag for the bad reasons. It dragged for a reason where it allowed more character building to take place. And of course, there are amazing moments with action sequences, with these beautiful montage like sequences where they show the city and the world building and all of this, but it did sort of drag it out, I feel, a little bit, because it has the TV series element to it. It doesn't want to pack everything into a single or two episodes, and then it will, leave you sort of hollow. And I felt that that's kind of the problem in the first two. The first two episodes were just too good, and then the third, fourth, and fifth episode, I felt dragged out a little bit. But when it built up towards the end, it started to get a lot more packed. So I think I understand that it's difficult to balance these episodes, especially when you have a real quality to the story in some, and some other episodes are a little bit slower, a little bit more hollow, a little bit more dialogue driven. So I feel that it doesn't have that sort of balance episode to episode, but at the same time, as an entire complete story, it was absolutely brilliant. The animation was brilliant, the music was brilliant, the characters are amazing. I could honestly watch this forever, like if there were just seasons of various characters being introduced in this way. And even if it's not exactly following the lore of the League of Legends, which I believe I first played some time back in 2008 or 9. Like, when was League released? Give me a sec. Yes, so League was released in 2009, and I believe I was one of the first few among my like schoolmates to actually try it out. And I can't believe that I was actually like yeah, no, no, I was actually pretty much done with school, sort of. I think it was exam time, and we actually had to like we were like completely nuts for this game. We Because we were big Dota fans, and at that time Dota was still very much in World of Warcraft. Dota 2 had not been released. And when League of Legends came out, it looked very much to the feeling of Dota, except it gave us a whole new set of characters to play with. And so we enjoyed it a little too much, close to exam especially. And I don't regret it, honestly. I had a great time. That's part of childhood and whatever. And then, of course, I was very much lean to the Dota lore, but I did still learn a little bit about League of Legends because I love the character building, the lore building, the design, and the fact that it's the end of the day just a mobile game, but the fact that they could build such a big lore behind it over the course of more than 10 years, and finally decide to take the challenge to turn it into an actual TV series, I feel is amazing. Like Dota recently had a TV series and it was pretty good, but this is a whole other level. This is like well beyond whatever Dota did with Dragon Split. This was solid. This was absolutely brilliant. And I dare say it might just be my favorite TV series of this year. It might just be one of the best as well. Quite frankly, there's just not that many good TV series this year in particular. But I think Arcane may have done it. I think Arcane is 2021's best TV series, at least in my opinion. And IMDb has almost 100,000 votes, and they are rating it close to 9.3, which is crazy high. And you may think, is it that good? And quite frankly, I enjoyed it, as I said, a little too much. It was super good. It was super fun. All the characters are super likable. It has a very family-esque story at the beginning, between Vi and I believe what's her name? Of course, at the end she becomes Jinx, right? Powder, right? So she starts off as Powder, Vi and Powder. They're sort of sisters, and they're both lead characters. And I believe the other lead characters is the guy with the hammer, and I think that there's one more guy with like a skateboard. But I'm not very familiar with these characters because I haven't seen them in such a long time. But of course, the one of the most iconic ones is Vi and Jinx. You'll definitely know these two characters. And the guy with the hammer also, you'll know him because he's something close to like Omni Knight from Dota. So he's sort of memorable in that way. And Jinx is like this. I don't know, nuker, bomber, nuker, something like techies or something like that, but techies suicides. But whatever, you get the point. So let me start off with the story of Arcane itself. It's a story of two sisters, and that's what it really starts as. It starts with this, Vi, who has a younger sister called Powder, and they get rescued by this guy, Vander or something, and he sort of becomes the father figure for them. And it all started when he was young and he was waging war against this higher class city. It sort of gave me vibes of what is that? No, oh no, I can't remember it. Um, it's that one recently about that android girl. Yeah, it's about the one recently about the android girl. Between the upper class city and the lower class city, try to live within the same vicinity together, and then the communities collide in this sort of clash of worlds. And then there's magic and mystery and all of these elements in between. It was very cyberpunk esque. It was very steampunk esque, and I'm not talking about the cyberpunk game. I'm talking about the elements of cyberpunk itself. It was very futuristic, but at the same time very rustic and very classic feeling. It was sort of like everyone's a tech junkie, everyone's a tech geek sort of world. And then there's magic involved, which makes it just 10 times better already. And then you have still amazing characters in every shot, really, honestly, every frame. For me, it was reminiscent of certain cinematographers like Zack Snyder, like perhaps the one we saw in, I think the most recent was No Time to Die. Quite frankly, it had amazing scenes and frames. But and also Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, that animation. So these sort of like cinematographers really deliver you scenes where every bloody scene could be a wallpaper, because it's just so amazing to look at it. The colors, the contrast, the emotions, and the backstory. Like for example, Snyder doesn't really do much color, but he puts out. It makes it look like a work of art without the colors. Arcane does the complete opposite. Arcane goes completely nuts with its colors, like into the Spider Verse, and yet it gives you this very rustic sort of like down to earth sort of feel, where it feels very real and very raw and very honest with itself. It doesn't really sort of throw flair or fluff in just to make certain things exciting. It really tries to be its own unique thing. Like just look at this scene where this guy is the villain, the main villain of the story actually, and he turns out to be the second father figure for Powder, after Powder gets basically disowned by Vi because she experiments with some magical orb and blows up this entire building. And she kills two friends. She almost kills Vi, and she definitely kills their adopted father, Vander. And as a result of that entire thing, Vi gets very upset with Powder and disowns her. And she didn't really mean it. She felt very angry at the point. She tries to come back, but by that time, Powder is already adopted by this guy who's a villain who completely takes Powder in and lets Powder embrace her evil and darker side, which is Jinx. And if you just look at this scene, like the table and there's just the things they put on his table. There's no part of this scene that's wasted. There's no screen moment that's wasted. There's nothing in the backdrop that you can't look at and appreciate, aside from the characters that are doing their thing. Like everything in the back always feels so rich, so full, so detailed, and you can really feel the effort from the animators that are put in, and just how amazing they can make certain scenes emotionally feel. Like these are like flash, like very quick, half a second, 1 second split moments where they try to give you the impression of the character and the mental breakdown that Jinx goes through throughout this entire series, and how she completely turns from Powder to Jinx towards the end when she chooses to sit on the Jinx chair. And then here you can actually see two of the protagonists try to face off a battle, and they finally get this magical element that is called hex tech, if I remember correctly, and it's developed by this guy on the right. He's a scientist and he's sort of the Omni Knight character, and the hex tech allows them to create these very powerful super energized weapons. There's not too much concept or logic talking behind it. It's more so just the effort shown to achieve it, which I really really like. They make you feel how difficult it is for them to achieve these amazing technologies. And of course, you don't understand magic, right? You can never truly understand magic, which is why it's magic in the first place. And so what really, puts us into the seat of the character is allowing us to go through the process of understanding how difficult it is to build these weapons, how difficult it is to examine with it, get the approval from this council to work with it, and people rejecting it, and finally, when you get that achievement and the country prospers and whatever because of the magic. And then there's also the side effects where some people take advantage of it for evil means. So all of this put together, the emotional drive, you really get it from two different perspectives. And this is the best scene that I can put it for you as, because there's one story between Vi and Powder, and one more story between, excuse me, give me a second, let me find out this guy's name. There's like two separate stories ongoing at the same time. Right, I think it's Jace. Yeah, it's Jace. Um, and Victor is like this assistant at the council who decides to join forces with Jace to sort of help him achieve what he tries to do. Um, so yeah, Kevin Alejandro is the voice actor. All of the voice acting was amazing, super believable, super enjoyable. Every character really played a good part. All the moments, like in the streets, in the backdrops, the city, it's just so beautiful, so gorgeous. And I really, really do not want this to ever end. Honestly, when they came to the last episode and I saw what happened, it was super emotional. The music, Imagine Dragons plays the intro, and I believe they have one or two other songs, which I definitely will be rolling through my playlist throughout this entire weekend and this entire week, because they were amazing. And really, once you get these epic soundtracks together with this epic animation, this epic story, good characters, I think it's nearly the perfect animated TV series that you could ever ask for. And I do not, like, honestly, my ratings, how harsh I can be with ratings, but I really can't seem to find the right flaws in this to talk it down in any way. It's just so good. It's honestly so, so good. And so, for me to give my honest rating, which I'm going to pull up now, um, it is what it is. It is a 9 out of 10. The only reason I'm not giving it 1 point more is because of the fact that I said that it had such good stories in certain episodes that it couldn't even it out into certain other episodes, and certain middle episodes felt boring. But the starting and the ending was absolutely brilliant, and the build up to it and the character building and the path that they took was really, really good. But perhaps if they overloaded it with just a little bit more going on, like maybe a third character going on, because it's a long series, about 9 episodes or something like that. Can't remember actually. It's about 9 episodes, I think. But yeah, it would have been even more amazing. But hey, I don't think I don't think they were planning to make the greatest TV series in the world. I think they just wanted to make a great TV series, and accidentally they made one of the greatest. That's what I honestly think, because it looks like these animators were having way too much fun just animating these characters and bringing these unbelievable scenes to life. And yeah, they had way too much fun. Look at these colors, this backdrop, the artistry, the graffiti in the walls. It's just really, really amazing. I can't emphasize just how much I love this TV series. I think it's something that I would gladly rewatch and definitely share to people to rewatch. Like, we only got one scene of someone actually using old school magic, and man, even that one scene where he casts the spell and the runes show up in the sky, and as he performs the enchantment to bring Jay's mother back to life, like, wow, dude, that's like some crazy stuff. The animation, the music, and everything was just insanely good. It's insanely good. So yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I think it's one of the best TV series that I may have ever watched, and it's definitely the best for this year. If this was a movie, it would be probably the only movie to top ZSGL. And yeah, I think it is what it is. So yep, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. If you guys have not watched this, please do. I highly recommend you watch Arcane. It is absolutely amazing. See you guys in the next one. Take care.